will be discussed. So first one, today we are going to discuss mainly the concepts are, once again I'm repeating. First concept is arrays because in previous session we have already started the concept of arrays. Next I'm going to discuss about constructor. Next I will discuss about this keyword and next I'm going to start the concept of string handling. So with all the examples I will clearly explain that. Okay. Okay. So I will start the session. One minute. Okay. So first let us start the concept of arrays. So in previous session we have seen how to declare an array. So declaration is completed. Now we are going to see how to create an array, and after creating an array, let us see how to initialize an array. And I'm going to write a small program for that, and I'm going to show you the clear explanation about that. So first one. So declaration we have seen declaration of single dimensional, multi-dimensional, that is two-dimensional, three-dimensional. Now I'm going to create an array. So few points we have to understand. Every array, every array in Java is an object. Every array in Java is an object. In Java is an object. Sorry. Already you know that if you are going to create any object in Java, we are going to use a new keyword. So how to create an array? So see here, I have to write the type. It may be any type. Okay, just I will write a general form here. So data type, and I'm going to write the name of a variable or array name. Just I will say it as array name, and just we have to keep square bracket open and close. As previously we have seen how to declare a array in the same way. And now observe here, new, here I have to write the type. No need of writing data type, just I will take it as a type. And here I have to mention compulsory size. Okay, this is mandatory. For example, if I want to create any array, just write down the type and write down the name of an array, and just write down the new, and next write down the type here and mention the size here. If I write in this way, what happens? So internally memory is going to be created. First point you have to understand is new is a keyword or an operator which is used for allocating the memory. It allocates what? Memory. At what time allocates memory? Dynamically. Dynamically. Okay. Next, which type of memory it is going to allocate? Into type of memory it is going to allocate. How many locations it is going to allocate? These are what? How many memory locations? 5 locations. Of which type? Into type. So finally what happens after writing the statement, executing the statement, we are going to get 5 locations and it is referred by X. So observe carefully here. So to refer the, so please 1 minute. Okay. So see, so now observe here. So whenever I'm going to execute this statement, internally what happens? We are going to get a memory locations like this. So here, just I'm going to do what? Just I have created an array of size what? 5. Now observe carefully here. Each location is of which type? I have created which type? Int type arrays. How many locations? 5 locations. That means in this array, I can store 5 int types. So each int type is what? You know that 4 bytes. That means what here? This is 4 bytes, this is 4 bytes, and each and every location is 4 bytes. So in this way, we can create a memory. Sorry, in this way, we can create an array in Java. So first point, every array in Java is what? Is an object. Okay. After that, how to create an array? I have given a general form and I have shown you an example. So next, this is about single dimensional array. After this, let us see how to create a multi-dimensional array. So after creating the arrays, directly I will show you what. So one more point you have to understand. To access the elements of an array, here observe, there is a concept of indices or indexes. So here So if you are going to create, for example, int a equal to 10, if you write, what happens? There will be only one memory location and it is named as what? A. But here coming to array, there are many memory locations are there. So to access those memory locations, we are going to use the concept of indexes. So to refer this, indexes starts from 0 and ends up to, it will be n minus 1. Sir, what is n here? N is nothing but a size. In our example, what is size? 5. So our indices will be from where to where? 0 to 5 minus 1, which is nothing but 0 to 4. Okay. So in this way, I can create single dimensional array. So later, how to initialize the values, I will explain. Before that, I have to explain how to create two-dimensional array also. After creation, I will explain you clearly how to initialize by showing an example. Okay. Right now, observe. Now, second point, multi-dimensional array. That is, I am going to take two-dimensional. Same as a one-dimensional array. First, I have to write a data type. Next, I have to mention a name. And already declaration. Observe here. I can take these two brackets before the name of the array and after the data type also. But in general, I am going to take in this way. So new int of, let us take here 3 and 2. Okay, listen carefully. Here it is somewhat different when compared to other languages. So main, in your C language, there is a problem of memory. There is a loss of memory in your C language because their memory utilization is very less compared to Java. In Java, there is no concept of memory wastage in our arrays concept. Reason, I'm going to tell you the reason. So here we are going to implement the concept of multi-dimensional arrays as array of arrays. Very important point. Multi-dimensional arrays are implemented as array of arrays. Sir, what is the meaning of this? If I am talking about two-dimensional array, it is nothing but what? Array of arrays. Okay, array contain other arrays. Next, if it is three-dimensional array, array of arrays. I will show you that with an example. Array of arrays. And if it is four-dimensional, what? Array of arrays. Okay, array of arrays. This is of arrays. Okay, so this is the concept and so on. So, sir, what is this array of arrays? So, if I take this small example here, how internally the memory location is going to be created means. So, observe carefully. What is the first value here? 3. So, first 3 locations will be created. Observe carefully. So, this is 1 and 2 and 3. Indices are what? 0, 1 and 2. And each and every location, how many what is the length of the array? It has to contain 2. So this is which dimensional? Two dimensional, because two what I can say dimensions are here. So 2D array means definition is what? Array of arrays. Already one array I have drawn. Inside this, one more array has to be there. That is, what is the size of that array? 2. So here, in this way, it is going to create. Okay. Again, for this, there is an index 0, 1, 0, 1 and 0, 1. Okay. So to access this memory location, what I have to do? A of 0, 0. And to access this memory location, A of 0, 1. In the same way, if I want to access this, A of 1, 0, A of 1, 1, A of 2, 0, A of 2, 1 and so on. In this way, I can create a two-dimensional array. So it is nothing but what? Array of arrays. This is how to create a two-dimensional array. Next, coming to three-dimensional array. Observe this. Here I have to take 3 dimensions and new int of, I will take a small array 2, 2 and 2. Okay. So now observe how many dimensions are there. Here 2 and next 2 and next 2. Observe carefully. Image will be somewhat complex. So first I have to take what? 2 locations. So this is A and 0 and 1. This is completed. Again in these 2, each and every one has to contain what? Again 2. So that means here again I have to take 2. Again indices are what? 0 and 1. Here also how many has to be there? 2. Here also indices has to be 0 and 1. Now come to last one. Here 2 is there. That means what? Again here 2 locations, memory locations has to be there. Now observe carefully. Here also indices will be there. 0 1 0 1 0 1 and 0 1. Now see, to access this memory location, what I have to do? 0 0 0. To access this memory location, 0 0 1. To access this memory location, 0 1 0. For this location, 0 1 1, and so on. So in this way we have to create multi-dimensional array. This is very important. So how to create a multi-dimensional array? I will show you the example. Just I have created what? I have created an array. In previous class I have declared. Now here what I am going to do? I am going to create an array. Okay. Right. Next. This is about what? This is just about how to create an array. I have shown you one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, and three-dimensional array. Now I will show you how to initialize an array. Later, I will write a small program to show you how to initialize the values of one dimension, two dimension, and also three dimension if possible. Now observe here, I am talking about what? Initialization. What is meant by initialization? First declaration is completed. That means which type of array we are going to create is completed. That is in this way. By seeing this, what you can understand? This is declaration. So I'm going to create an array of type int. It is in one dimensional. After that, what I'm going to do? I'm going to create. How to create that? New int, for example, 5. So, sir, this in entire line, what I have done here, I have done declaration and creation in the same line. If you don't want to write in this way, just separately you can write first declare and later you can initialize. There is no problem. So, what is the need of writing two statements? So that I have written only in one statement. In this statement, what happens? So, observe carefully. One more important point here we are going to get. Initially, whenever you are going to create any array, initially default values will be there. That means here just I have created an array. Whenever I am creating an array, till now I have not initialized any value. So that default value, what is the type of array? It is int type of array. So what is the default value for int? 0. Observe carefully. Once I will write here byte, int, byte, short. All these are integral data types. If you are going to create any of these type, default value is 0. And for float and double, default value is 0.0. And coming to boolean, it is false. Boolean false. And coming to your char type, it is \0, which is a null character. So as I'm creating this int array, default values are 0. Now, what I have to do? Just I want to initialize. So I will show you two types of initializations. One is by indices. A of 0 equal to 10, for example. Now what happens? Here this will be replaced with 10. Next, A of 1 equal to 20, for suppose. Now here what happens? 20. A of 2 equal to 40, for example. So we can write what? Here I can write 40. Next, I can write what? A of 4 directly without accessing A of 3 also I can go to A of 4. I will write 50. So here I can write 50. There is no problem. And later I can write A of 3 equal to 60. So here it is going to be 60. Now observe carefully one important point here we have to observe that. So listen carefully. So this is A and from here to here it is A. What is the boundary of it? The boundary of it is, what is the boundary? The boundary is from where to where? It is the boundary of A is from 0 to 4. That means if I am going to give a name A, then okay, then what happens? Automatically the A can access only A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4. Okay. Right. So that if I am trying to access any other value, other than these indices. For example, A of 8. Now is there any index called as 8 for A? No. Just your compiled is going to give you, sorry, runtime, not compile time. Runtime is going to give you an exception saying array index out of bounds. What is that? Array index out of bounds exception. Out of bounds exception. When this exception is going to be raised? Whenever you are trying to access the memory location which is not present here. Okay, next, it may be positive location or it may be negative location. If it is not present, we are going to get an array index out of bounds. See here, for A, is there any -3 index here? No. Again, what it is saying? Array index out of bounds exception. This is about the concept of what is that? How to initialize a single dimensional array. Now, same concept, one more way I am having to initialize this one dimensional array. Let us see that. Okay. So one way I have shown you here, another way. Sir, what is the need of separately declaring, creating and initializing? Can't we write all these three in a single line? Yes, I can do it. See, int a equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 for suppose. If I am going to write in this way, what happens? Here, observe now, declaration is completed. Creation and initialization will be done based on this. So, because of this, what happens? So, 5 memory locations, already 5 are there, so that's 5 memory locations will be there. 30, 40, 50, and it is going to be pointed by A. Indices are what? Right, completed, that's it. Entire thing can be done in only single line, that is in this way. Otherwise, we can also perform in this way. These are what? These two are static initialization. That means what? Before writing the program only, I am writing these initializations. One more thing is that is dynamic initialization. I will show you that while executing a program. Okay, completed. So now see, whenever you are writing this type of representation, you should not mention size, should not give size, give the size. Very important point. While you are going to mention that this way, this is important point. And one more important point is there. That is, observe carefully. Here, this has to be written only in single line. If you write in this way, for example, int a semicolon a equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, it is invalid. If you want to perform all the declaration, initialization and creation, that has to be present only in one line. If you try to access this one, it is invalid because everything has to be done in single line. These 2 points are important. This is first point and this is second point. Okay, so size should not be given whenever I'm going to write in a single line in this way, flower braces, by using a flower braces. And second one is what? You should not write in a multiple lines. Okay, right, this is what? Initializing a single dimensional array. In the same way I'm going to have 2 dimensional array. So let us take it. So 2 dimensional array I'm going to take. I will be little bit fast because already I have explained clearly in 1 dimensional array. Just I will take 2, 2. Okay, so what happens? Internally, 2 memory locations, and for each and everything there will be 2 locations. Now I want to initialize these. What are the indices of these? Observe carefully. What is the location name? 0, 0. What is the location name? 0, 1. What is the location name? 1, 0. What is the location name? 1, 1. Now observe here, a of 0, 0 equal to 40. Now what happens? Here the value will be 40. A of 0, 1 equal to 50. Now here we are going to get the value as 50. Next, a of 1, 0 equal to 60. Now here what happens? 60 is going to be stored. A of 1, 1. Now what happens? Here 70 I am going to write, here 70 will be stored. In this way I can initialize. Sir, same array, please represent in the single line. I don't want to write all these lines. Just write down in this way. Listen carefully. In this way, equal to, it is a 2 dimensional array. What I have to write? This is indicates 1 dimension. And in 1 dimension, how many are there? 2 are there. In this way, we have to represent. Now, in first array, how many are there? 40, 50. Next, in second array, how many are there? 60, 70. That means what? Instead of writing all these lines, we can write what? It is equal to same. These two are same. Internally, same array will be created. In this way, the array can be created. See, if you are having any doubts in between, you can ask me. There is no problem. Okay, right. So this is the initialization of an array. Now, so finally, explanation of array is going to be completed now. That is by using a ragged or jagged array. It is very important point. Ragged or jagged array. Sir, what is this ragged or jagged array? Till now, what I have shown, first I will take the example of a two-dimensional and I will explain about the ragged or jagged array. The same concept will be applicable for all multi-dimensional arrays. Okay. Now listen carefully, please. If I write in this way, I can leave this dimension for future. Okay. So, sir, what happens in this one? If I write this line, if it executes, what happens? If it executes, what happens means just it is going to create two memory locations, which is pointed by A. Sir, what about internal array? Because as it is two-dimensional array, what array has to contain? One more array it has to contain. But here I have taken only one dimension. So second dimension I have not given. So I can mention it separately like this. A of 0. A of 0 should contain what? One dimensional array. So new int of 3. Now what happens? In A of 0, that means here one dimensional array will be created with size 3 in this way. Next, A of 1 also one dimensional array, it has to contain one dimensional array. Now observe here, new int of 2, I will let int of 2 here, it's my wish. Now here how many locations will be there? Only two locations will be there. But before case, in normal arrays, what I have shown you, just if I write in this way, observe now, int, I have mentioned both the dimensions here. If I write in this way, what happens? In every dimension length will be same. See here 2 will be there, here 2 will be there. That means what? Here in this normal arrays, every dimension, every inner array is going to have the same length. But coming to here, every inner array is not going to have same length. If any inner array, if any inner array is not having the same length, then we can consider it as a what? A ragged or jagged array. This is ragged, or we can consider it as a jagged array. What is the reason? How we can say this one? So in this array, inner array is not having the length. All the inner arrays are not having the same length. All are having what? Different lengths. So this is having 3, this is having 2. One more, if it is there, it can also have 2. If at least one inner array having different length, then I can say that type of arrays are what? Ragged or jagged array. So this is the concept of arrays. So now just I will write a small program and I will show you how to create, how to initialize, and how to use them. Okay. Now observe, I will also show you ragged or jagged arrays also. First, I will start with single dimensional creation and initialization. Later, two dimensional creation and initialization. I will not go for three dimensional because the program length will be increased. Okay, let us see that. Now observe here. Right. Now listen carefully. Just first I want to show you what? First I have to show you creation of one dimensional array and initialization of one dimensional array. Next I will show you about two dimensional array. Right. So already some code is there. Yesterday we have discussed about this. I am going to delete first. How to create an array? Already you know. Just I am going to take the same example here. Just I will modify this. So new int. This is nothing but what? Creating the array. Already you know this, creating the array. Next one, I want to initialize. Two ways I told you. A of 0 equal to 10. Okay, just I will not, okay. So A of, okay, before going to initialize, what I told you, before going to initialize, what happens? If I try to check what are the elements that are present in our where array memory locations, we will have a default values I told. So to find the length of an array, we are going to use a variable called as length. So it will give you what? This particular statement will give you what? It is going to give you length of the array. What is the length of your array? 5. So next I plus plus. Already you know about this for loop. So just I am not going to explain anything extra about this one. Now see what happens first time. Here I will write a of I. So as you know that if there is only one statement for a for loop, no need of writing any flower brackets. Okay. Now observe. So I equal to 0 first time. So 0 less than 5. Okay, valid. It will go on, it will print what? A of I. That is nothing but A of 0. Is there any value did I initialize for that array? No. Then what is going to be printed? Default values are going to be printed. So let us check that. Observe, let us check that. So as you know how to execute, I'm not explaining this process. Right. Now see what you have to get. All zeros you have to get. Right. Now check. All zeros we are going to get here. Because it is by default, it is going to contain what? Default values. Second way of initialization. So sorry, first way of initialization now. So I don't want to initialize all the values because just I want to show you these are going to be initialized. So just I will take two values, a of 1 and a of 2 I'm going to take. I'm neglecting remaining all other locations. Now if I'm going to neglect all other locations are going to contain what? Zeros. Wherever I am going to initialize, those values are going to be stored and those are going to be printed in my example. So check now. So we are going to see here. So what are the values we got? 10, 0, 20, 0, 0. What is the reason we are going to get 10? Because I have initialized a of 0 with 10. I have not initialized a of 1. So the value is, we are going to get what? 0. Here what I have done? A of 2 I have initialized. So I am going to get a of 2 as 20. So in this way, that means by using the concept of indexes, I can initialize the array, initialize an array. This is first way. Second way, sir, what is the need of this one, sir? I want to initialize dynamically. That means user has to give the input, sir. Then what I have to do, sir? First thing, you should know about the how to read the element. So generally, we are going to write the programs dynamically only. For that, I am going to write import statement. Already, you know how to read the data from the keyboard by using a scanner. Okay, just I'm going to use the scanner. If you want to write star, you can write it. There is no problem. So I have to create an object, scanner object, you know that. So I'm going to write scanner as C equal to new scanner. From where I have to read? I have to read from keyboard. To represent that, I'm going to use system.in completed. Now listen carefully. How many values I want to read? I want to read all the values. I want to read all the values to the memory location. That means 5 values I want to read. So that same thing I am going to copy paste here. But here, what is the point I have to show? I want to store. Where I want to store? A of I. First the A of I value will be what? A of 0. In second iteration, what will be there? A of 1. Third iteration, A of 2. Fourth iteration, A of 3. Fifth iteration, A of 4. That's it. So every time what I have to do? I have to read. Who can read here? Scanner object by using next int. So this is the method that is used to read the integer. That's it, completed. My program is completed. Now again I'm repeating. This is for creating an array. Observe carefully. This is for creating an array. And this is scanner object for reading the elements. And this is the for loop for reading the elements into an array. How many elements it can read? I less than a dot length. That means this for loop is going to be executed for 5 times. Whenever we are going to execute first time, this will be 0. After second iteration, I plus plus 1. Third iteration, 2. Fourth iteration, 3. Fifth iteration, 4. And the condition is going to be failed. That means I am going to read 5 times and 5 values in A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, and A of 4. Finally, after reading all the values, just I am printing those values. Let us check that. Okay. Okay, let us clear all these so that it will be clear for you. So observe. No, there are no errors. Now see. So it is prompting us. I don't know what is going to be happening here. So Sir, what happened, sir? Here it is not telling anything. If you want to tell something to enter, please write on a print statement. Anyway, I know this. So just I'm entering 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Only 5 elements it will take because your for loop is going to execute how many times? 5 times. So after it is going to be printed. So to make not to not to confuse you, just I will take a print statements. It is only for user purpose. It is not compulsory here. Just I am going to take. I am going to write what here? Enter. Just I will tell you. Enter array elements. Enter array elements. Okay. After that, what I will write here? The elements of an array are. Just here as here I will print. Just I will print what? Elements of an array. Elements of an array are, just I will print that so that we are going to get clear picture we are going to get. So now see, so it is asking what? Enter array elements. So just I will enter 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. 5 elements are completed. Now what is the task it has to do? After entering all the elements, it is going to store. This array is going to store here, this for loop. After that, what it has to print? Elements of array R it has to print, and all the elements has to be printed. Okay, just if I press enter, observe what happens. Elements of array R, all the elements are printed here. So this is the dynamic way. Observe now. This is the dynamic way to initialize an array. Next, what I told you, one more. Just I will remove all these and I will keep aside, and I am going to comment it later for further use. I will take it. Okay, don't worry. Okay, here I'm going to comment it. So now see. Now observe here. Here now I want to do what? Just I want to initialize statically. Okay. Now observe here. Just I'm going to take directly here. 10, 20. Oh, sorry. Okay, 30, 40, and 50. Here I have directly initialized. So just I want to see those. Just I'm going to print that. Now what will be the output of this? You can observe now. So I'm going to compile and I'm going to print it. Observe now. Directly the values are printed here. That means first case and this case are called as static initialization. In second case, I have used a scanner object that is called as what? Dynamic initialization. That means at the runtime, I am initializing it. Okay, right. This is the way how to initialize which array? Single dimensional array. Next, coming to two-dimensional array. How to initialize two-dimensional array? Anyway, as directly I will show you here itself. Just I will take it in this way so that it will be clear for you, right? Now what happens? See here. Uh, so here I'm going to close it. Now observe here. This is a ragged or jagged array because it is a two-dimensional array where first inner array is going to have a size of 2 and second inner array is going to have size 3. The size is what here? Different. So as it is having multi-dimensional, for loops are also should be multiple 2. As it is two-dimensional, I have to take two for loops. One indicates row, another one indicates column. One indicates what? This index 0 and this index 1. Okay. Second one, what is again on this? There are how many? 2. Again on this, how many? There are 3. So this one it has to follow. So one is going to show you outer array, this is going to show you outer array, and this is going to show you what? Inner array. Okay, this observe now. So what I have to take? Anyway, if I do, you don't want, if I don't want to confuse you, just I will take same length. Now observe here, j equal to 0 and j less than which length? A of, for example, I will take a of I. Okay, anyway, if you take anything, we will get answer. Next, j plus plus. So now what I have to print here? A of ij. Now what happens? Observe. First, it will print 10. Next, it will print what? 20. Next, it will print 30. Next, it will print 40. Okay, let us check that. See what happens 10, 20, 30, 40. You may think that, sir, is it a single dimension? Why it is going to print in that way means just to make you understand. Here I will write one statement. So as I am going for multiple statements, I have to keep brackets here. Here I will take one system.out.println. To make you understand, just I will take it here. What I will take row I. For your sake, I am going to write row. I am going to write I. So first it will print what? Row 0. Otherwise, I plus 1. So now observe here. Oh, sorry. Not suitable method for println. Okay, here, sorry. I have to write here concatenation symbol. It is in Python. We have to write commas. We can write commas. Okay, now observe. In this way, I have to write. Right, now I'm going to clear this once again. Just observe. We're going to get correct output now already compiled. So see, row 1, 10, 20, row 2, 30, 40, completed. So this is the way I can do what? I can initialize and I can print the data. In the same way, sir, I want to read the data from the, sir, I want to use indexes. Then what I have to do? Just write down here new int of some 2 comma 2 I'm going to take. 2 comma 2 you can take, and what you have to write if you want to write indexes a of 0, next one is what? A of 0, 1. In this way, you have to write A of 0, 0 equal to 10. In this way, you have to write every initialization. So, but I don't want to show you that. Okay. Now see, I have created this. I want to take dynamically. Observe carefully. I want to take dynamically. How I have to take it, sir? Same like your print statement, just write down. But here, what I have to write? Here I have to write what? Reading. For reading purpose, I have to write here. So already I have written some code here for reading. So just I have to take this one, this line, and just I have to paste it here instead of printing that. Okay, here I have to paste it. Okay, right. This is for reading purpose. What I have to read? Observe carefully here. A of ij, where I have to read? A of ij I have to read. So observe. So this one has to be in multiple, as it is in multiple lines, I have to take parenthesis, sorry, flower braces. So where I have to take A of I. Anyway, I will write this one outside of this one. So here itself I will take, so that it will be clear for you. Right. Here itself I will create that. Okay. Now I have created it here. Just I want to read. So where I have to read? Tell me. So A of ij equal to first time uh, sc dot next int completed. That's it. Now observe, every time I can take how many values? 4 values, because 2 by 2 is nothing but what? 4. It can store 4 values. Let us check that. So see, it is asking me input 10, 20. Now see, these two values are stored in where? 0, 0, 0, 1. If I'm going to press 30, it will stored in what? 1, 0. If I'm going to press 40, where it is going to store? In 1, 1. Okay. So finally output is this one. So in this way, I can store dynamically. Okay. So this is about how to create an array, how to initialize an array. Now, any doubts in this, please, if you're having any doubts, let me know in the chat box. If you're not going to have any doubt, let us go to other concept. That is nothing but constructors. Okay. I will explain clearly about constructors and this keyword. Okay. After that, if there is any time, I will go to operators also. Okay. Please let me know if you're having any doubts in arrays. Please be fast. So if you are having a little bit any doubt, once again revise the same video so that you will get a clarity on that. Okay. Right. So let us go to the concept of constructors. Before going to know the concept of constructors, you have to understand one point. That is nothing but what is the use of a constructor you should know, and what is meant by an object you should know. Otherwise, you can't understand what is the need of a constructor. Okay. So now let us start constructor. So in the name it says what? Constructor. Generally, if we take our real-time constructor, what is the task of real-time constructor? The main purpose of constructor is to construct something. To construct something. Sir, what happens? How it is helpful for us in Java? I will explain clearly. Observe now. So before going to that minimum basic, that is nothing but how to create an object you should know. Just I will take on small example. I will not take bigger examples. Just class A is there. Int A equal to 20. In previous class, I have discussed about these variables. So first I will not take, sorry, I will take initialization, and next examples by using constructor, I will not take this initialization here. So just observe what I want to do here. Public C, just I will not write entire statement. Public static void main string args. I'm going to string array args. Now observe here, to access these, to access these members inside this, what I have to do? I have to create a object. In previous class, I have explained this. Now, if I want to print the values, I have to use this. So I will clearly explain entire this. Please wait. So x dot a. Now what happens in this case? I am going to get answer as 20. Sir, what happens here? Everything I will explain carefully, because before going to see the concept of constructor, you should understand the concept of object. While creating the object only, you are going to call the constructor. So that first you have to understand what is meant by an object, how it is going to be created. So this is called as, this x is called as, here separately I will write a space x equal to new a. So listen carefully please. So new is a keyword, new is a operator or a keyword which is used to allocate the memory. Allocate the memory. At what time? Dynamically. The question is which type of memory we have to allocate. So beside that new keyword, what is there? Beside that new keyword, we are going to have a, what is there? A is there. That means I want to create this type of memory. That is nothing but a type of memory. A contains what? A contains only two variables. So this new is going to allocate the memory for a type, and here I am going to take the reference as what? X. And here we are going to get two values, a equal to 20 and p equal to 20. Okay. Now observe here, who is going to allocate this one? This memory is allocated by new. And who told that only a value and b value has to be given here? This a is going to tell. Sir, what about these two open bracket and closed parentheses? This is the concept of constructor. In our example, I have not used any concept of constructor till now, but I will show you what is the use of constructor now. So first, before going to give the example, I will define what is the use of constructor. So what is the use of constructor means? It is going to initialize, only one point, it is going to initialize the object. Sir, what is meant by initializing the object? Initializing the object is nothing but giving the values, giving the values for variables, for variables in object. Sir, already in our object there are uh, initialize the object means giving the values to the variables in object. Sir, what is meant by this? This is nothing but already we are having two variables in our object which are already initialized. Sorry, this is 30, which are already initialized. But if those are not initialized, I can write a constructor. So in that constructor, I can initialize those values. So now let us take the small example for that and let us initialize that one. So till now I have not shown any type of constructor in our example. Now I will take the constructor and I will not take any initial values for that. I am going to use a constructor for initializing the object, which is nothing but giving the values for the variables in an object. Let us take that example now. So same example I will take, but I will not take what? I am not going to take any values here. Just I will take int a comma b. Did I initialize these two values? No. I am going to use the concept of constructor to initialize that. So how to initialize that? So there are two or three ways are there. First I will tell you the basic way here. Just I will take a here and 10 I am going to write, b and 20 here. Observe now. So just I'm going to write in this way. That's it. I don't want to take any main. Just whatever the thing we are going to write in main, I will write it here. A space x equal to new a. Now what happens? Already you know that new is a operator for allocating the memory. Which type of memory it has to allocate? A type. So and there is a constructor in our A class. So automatically while creating the object, your control comes here. So here what is there initially? A and B are there in A class. So these two are available in this object. and it is referred by X. Now, while creating this object, your control comes here and it will execute this constructor by default. It will be executed by default. No need of calling this. By default, whenever we are going to create any object, automatically it will call the constructor. Next, while calling the constructor, while creating the object, we will come to here and a equal to 10. Who's a equal to 10? On creating which object I came to constructor on creating this object. Because of this, this object is created. On creating this object, we came to this constructor. So here a value is what? 10. That means in this object, a value will be initialized with 10 and b equal to 20. Whose b? This object b equal to 20. So the problem with this type of initialization is, observe now, I will write one more object, a space y equal to new a. Now observe here, same concept. One object will be created. Which type of object is this one? A. In A, how many variables are there? Two variables. So here two variables are available. And the reference is what? Y. Again, on creating this object, same constructor will be called here. And inside this, what is there? A equal to 10. Now, whose A will be 10? On creating which object I came to this constructor? On creating Y. So here what happens? A equal to 10, this object, B equal to 20. If I create n number of objects of the same type, for every object, A value will be 10, B value equal to 20, because every time it is going to execute this constructor which is not having any parameters, and for every constructor, whatever the values I have written here, those are going to be given. But the problem is what here, sir? What is the need of having same type of multiple objects with same data? We can't do anything. But what is my requirement? I want objects, but each object has to contain different values. Okay. For that, I am going for the concept of, observe, I am going for the concept of parameters, a constructor with parameters. Okay, let us take that. So later I will combine both and I will tell you there is no problem. And here we are having two variables, int a comma b. Okay, here I am taking what? Two variables, int x comma int y. Observe what I will write here, a equal to x and b equal to y. Okay, right. Directly I will take the statement sorry, 1 minute. As I have used here x, you will confuse, so that I will take a space, some object name is k. So equal to new a. Now what happens while I am going to write here any parameters? Compulsory that type of constructor has to be present in your class. So now what I have written here? I have written while creating an object, I am passing two parameters. Those are what? 10 and 20. So automatically one object will be created of A type and it is referred by K, and by default this constructor will be called, and this 10 will be passed here and this 20 will be passed here. On creating which object? This object only I came to this constructor. So A equal to X. Already in this case, what will be there? A and B will be there. A and B will be there. So A equal to X. A equal to X means what? X value is nothing but 10. So A equal to 10. B equal to Y. That means what? B equal to 20. Okay. Next, second case. I will take one more object. A space J equal to new A. Here I will take what? 30, 40. Now what happens? One more object will be created of A type, and here also what will be there? There will be two parameters. Please be in mute. So 1 minute, please be in mute. Okay. Now see. So here the reference of this one is what? J. Okay, and there are two variables. So see, on creating this object, I'm going to call what? This constructor. That means what? Now in the place of X, please be in mute. Okay. 1 minute. Okay. Now see. So here what I'm going to do? Here J, while creating J, I came to this constructor and I'm passing what? 30 and 40. Now A equal to X means what? Who's A? On creating this object, I came. So that the value of A is X. That is nothing but A equal to 30. The value of B is what? Y. What is the Y value now? 40. So see now here I have created two objects by passing the parameters. Here for every object I am going to have what? I am going to have the concept of different data. So this one is recommended. This one is recommended. That means what? Please pass the parameters. Use the concept of parameters. Okay, constructor with parameters. So that we can have what? Different data. So please be in mute. It will be disturbance for other students, please. Okay, right. So now see here, I will combine two or three types. Observe carefully. I will combine two or three constructors in the same one, which is called as constructor overloading. What is meant by constructor overloading? Having the more than one constructor in the same class is called as what? Constructor overloading. I am taking three variables A, B, C, and observe now, here I am going to write one constructor without any parameters. Here what I will do, just A equal to 10, I will take B equal to 20 and C equal to 30 for suppose. Next I am going to take only two parameters. I will not take third parameter here. Or let us take, I will take only one parameter, int A or int X I will take. I will not make you confused, int X. And what I will do, A equal to X I will write. So what about B and C? I will show you. There is no problem. Next, A of, I will take two parameters. Int X equal to, please assure the Krishna, please be in mute. Int X comma int Y. And here I am going to take A equal to X and B equal to Y. So with this, the concept of constructor will be completed, and the same way constructor overloading also will be completed. Okay. Next, I am going to take three parameters, int X equal to, sorry, int X, int Y, int Z. And what I will take here, A equal to X, B equal to Y, and C equal to Z. Now what happens, I will clearly explain. Please listen carefully. Okay. Now see, just I am going to show you A space X equal to new, sorry, already X I have taken, so that I will change the name here. I will take it as I, for example, I. Okay. New A I'm going to take. See here, I'm going to create which type of object? I'm going to create A type of object. So which constructor will be called? A class constructor will be called by default, which is not having any parameter. That means whenever I'm creating an object with the reference I, by default I will get what? ABC values from here. And this constructor is called now. For this, first constructor is called, I will number this 1, 2, 3, and 4. For example, I am going to name, just for your sake, I am going to give the numbers, because if I draw the lines here, it will lead to a complexity. So see now, I equal to, I am going to have what? Whenever I am creating this object, automatically control comes here. And we are going to have what? A equal to 10, B equal to 20, C equal to 30. First one is completed. Second case, A of A space J equal to new A, and I'm passing only one parameter 40 for suppose. Now what happens, sir? It will come to second one. That means for this constructor where we are having one parameter, and same, this is which object? A object, which is having how many values? 3. So A, B, C, and the reference is what? J. And which constructor is called? Second constructor is called. How many values I am passing? Only one value. That means in X, how many values will be passed? Only one value. And this value is given for what? A. So that A value will be 40. Did I initialize the B and C? No. If we are not going to initialize the B and C, we are going to get what? B equal to 0 and C equal to 0. And next up, I, J, K, for suppose I'm going to create one more thing. A space K equal to new A of, for example, 40 comma 50. Now while creating the object, these three variables are available for me, A, B, C. And now what happens? How many parameters I have passed? Only two. That means we will come to this constructor, which is nothing but third constructor. So 40 and 50 are passed here. And I'm going to give what? So observe carefully here, X is given to A. That means X value is what? 40. So 40 is given to A. And 50 is given, Y, in 50 I have passed 50. Sorry, in Y I have passed 50. So that 50 is given to whom? Y is given to whom? B. So here I'm going to get what? 50. And C is what? Did I initialize C here? No. It will be by default 0. Now last one, observe here. A space L equal to new A, and I'm passing three parameters here: 40, 50, 60. Now what happens? One object will be created and reference is L, and these three variables are available here: A, B, C. And here what I am doing? I am passing three values: 40, 50, 60. Now I am giving this x to what? A, that is nothing but 40, y to B, that is nothing but 50, and z to what? C, that is nothing but 60. Now this is the example where I have demonstrated different types of constructor in the same program, and the same program you can write for constructor overloading also. Okay, this is about the concept of constructor. Okay, but some more important points are there to discuss about this constructor. Theoretically, I will show you now that. Okay, next one. Okay, anyway, here itself I will show you. So one more point. Okay, before going to see that, see here, this is X, this is A, this is Y, this is B, this is Z, and this is C. I will talk about this keyword. This keyword about Y here I have to write Z, Y here I have to write Z. If I write C here, if I write C here, what happens? I will discuss in this keyword. Okay. And one more point, observe here. What is the class name? A. What is the constructor name? A. Every constructor name has to be same as a class name. Now those important points, observe now, those important points I will discuss now, so that you will get a clarity theory. Just now I have shown you what practical things I have shown you here. I will show you what now theoretical part. Okay. So let us, I will remove this. So let us take a small program. Okay, I will show you the program also, so that you will get a clarity about that. Later that I will discuss the points. Okay, I will write a small program. Just whatever I have shown you till now, just the same program I will write. So to make you clear, I will remove all these. So as I have completed the array concept, I don't want to read anything. In future, if you want to read, please take scanner object and follow the steps what we have followed in previous program. Okay. Right now, I want to talk about what constructor. So what I will do here, right? I am going to take one more class called as class A, and as I have shown you there, I will take two variables. And next, what I want to show you, I want to show you one constructor with the same name. So here, what I will do, just I will initialize by default values. That is not default values. By default, if any object is created, for that object, what we have to get same values. So now observe, I will create two objects here. I have taken only one constructor. Now observe, I'm going to create an object here. So I'm going to take A space x equal to new A. Now, if I print x dot A, I will get the output as what? I have to get output as 10 because I have initialized that. And after that, I will give space and I will print B value. Now, this example has to give you what? I told you what? There are two variables here, A and B. And those are, whenever I'm going to create an object, the constructor will be called. Whenever constructor will be called, the values of the that particular object will be created, that object will be initialized. So here I will show you about x object and also y object. A space y equal to new v I will write. Okay. Now same thing, same values I will print. In first line I will print values of x object, and second line I will print what? Values of y object also. So y, and here also I will write y. Okay. Now that means what? First line you have to get what? X, a value and b value in x. In second line, what you have to get? Uh, a value and b value in y. That means both you are going to get 10 and 20 only. Observe that. Because I have not given separate values. Every time it is going to the same constructor. So output is what? 10, 20, where the values of a and b are 10 and 20 in x, and also the values of a and b are in y is what? 10 and 20. Now, sir, what is the need of having the same data in multiple objects, sir? Let us take some, what is that? Uh, Parameters, sir. It will be very useful. Now, see, just I will write a equal to I. You can take any names, there is no problem. A equal to I and a equal to j. Now, observe here. Now, see, okay, I have not told you about the error. If I am not going to have any empty here. What is that? Empty constructor. And see here, is there any empty constructor here in my program? No. If there is no empty constructor, but if you are using empty constructor in your program, it will give you an error. See now, I will show you that. See, clearly it shows what error. Constructor A in class A cannot be applied to given types because there is no empty constructor. Okay, compulsory. If that constructor is present, you have to write, sir. For example, sir, see, I will remove this. Okay, I will remove this. Sir, there is no constructor, sir. Only there are two variables, sir. So what happens, sir? What happens here? This constructor has to be called, but there is no constructor. Will we get any error, sir? There is no error. Reason, listen carefully. If you are not writing at least one constructor, observe carefully. If you are not going to write at least one constructor in your program, then what happens? Automatically, your compiler is going to create default constructor. Please observe carefully this point. Very important point. Once again, I'm repeating. Whenever you are not going to create any, whenever you are not going to create any constructor in your class, then automatically or by default, your compiler is going to create one constructor. That constructor is called as a default constructor. So inside that, just only one line will be there. That is super. Okay, I am not discussing in detail about that, but just I want to say that now see what happens. You will not get any error now. Default construct will be called. See now there is no error. Okay, now once again I'm going to compile. Now see I'm going to get 0 and 0 because I have not created any constructor. I have not initialized that, so that it is going to give me what? Default values. Now, okay, anyway, completed. Next one, sir. I don't want to default values, sir. Just write down in this way. Now see, compulsory two values has to pass here. 10 comma 20, 30 comma 40. Now see what I am printing here. Value of x. What is the value of a in x? 10. This one. Next value of b in x. It is nothing but 20. Okay. Next come to this. Value of a in y is what? 30. Value of b in y is what? 40. Okay. Now you can observe that 10 space 20 and also you are going to get what? 10 space 20 and sorry 30 space 40. Right. Sorry. Okay, again compilation. Right, now see 10 space 20 and 30 space 40. The previous example I will show you. Just I will take constructor overloading. So that is nothing but here I will create uh, one more constructor with no parameters. And what I will do here, just I will write a equal to 50 semicolon b equal to 60. That means what? Whenever you are going to create any object, just what I will do, I will not give any values to this one. For x object, whenever I'm creating an object for x, I'm not giving any values. Then what happens? Automatically control goes to a constructor with no parameters. Then what happens? A and b value, a value will become 50, b value will become 60. But while creating object for y, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to write 30 and 40. I'm passing 30 and 40 so that there is a constructor with two parameters and that are going to be initialized for a and b. Now, if I execute this, we are going to get answer as what? See clearly, observe clearly, 50, 60 and 30, 40. So this is about explanation with I have shown you examples and also programs. Here, a few important rules are there. Just theoretically, I will say you that. Okay, because practically I have shown you everything. Now, theoretically, first rule, that means what? This is theory points you have to know. Every every class every class will have a constructor. That means what, sir? If you say something as a class in Java, it may be abstract class or it may be concrete class, will have a constructor. If you are not going to write, if you are not writing or creating any constructor in Your class, in your class, then by default, who will create? By default, compiler will create that. Compiler will create that. Okay, create that. Sir, already in my, if you are not creating at least, if you are not creating any constructor means at least one constructor, in your class, then by default compiler will create that. If you create at least one, your compiler will not create a default constructor. Next, coming to the point, sir, how it has to be? It has to be, sir. First point, your constructor name should be same as a class name, as you know that, same as class name. First important rule. Next, coming to second rule, your constructor looks like a method, but constructor will not have constructor will not have return type. What type? It will not have return type. That means what? If you see a method, generally we can say what? Constructor is a special type of method. If you see a method, you will have this one. In this way, you are going to have. But if you see a constructor, you will not have any return type. These are return types. You can write it in or any type you can write here. But for this, what is this? For constructor, you will not have any type of return types. Okay. Next, if you want to write for this methods, I can write what public, static, abstract, anything I can write. But if you want to write any modifiers for this constructor, you can use only private, public. Next, default means what? Without any keyword. Without any keyword. So default, that means what? No modifier. And finally, you can have what? Protected. Only these specifiers can be written in front of your constructor. Okay. If you are trying to use any other keyword other than this in front of a constructor, we are going to get an compile time error. Okay. So this is about constructor in detail. If you are having any doubt, you can ask now through chat box. Okay. So this is about constructor in detail. Okay, I have discussed about constructor overloading also. Next, very important concept, which leads to confusion for every Java program in its basic level. That keyword is nothing but what? This keyword. I will explain very clearly. Observe now. This keyword, very important. I will explain very clearly. Everyone has to understand. See now, I am standing in the class and I am showing you a pen in my hand. I am showing you a pen in my hand. I asked you, what is this? So a person is going to stand here and in his hand, he is showing a pen. This is a pen, for example, pen. He is showing a pen and he is asking what is this? All the people will say, question is what? What is this? What all the people will say, answer as pen. First question, answer is pen. Listen carefully. Next, second question. Now I'm going to, the same person is going to hold a ball. This is ball. For example, ball. Again, the same question will be asked by the faculty. What is this? Okay, what is this? Answer will be what? Now the answer is going to be changed. That is nothing but what? Pen, and here I'm going to write what? Ball. If I am going to take, last example, if I am going to take, for example, marker. Already here I have taken pen. Just I will take duster here. Okay, this is duster, for example. In my hand now there is a duster. If I ask here, what is this? What you are going to tell? You are telling it as a duster. Sir, why you are writing every time the same question? Yes, question has to be same. Answer will be changed here. That is the point we have to discuss here. So see, first what I ask, sir, what is your name? For example, if I ask you, what is your name? What is your answer? What is your answer? My name, for example, Shiva. If the second person asked me or anyone asked me again my name, what is your name? My name is Shiva. Again, what is my name? Shiva. That means what? Is it changing every time? No. Then why that definition of this is going to change here? First time if I ask what is this, you are telling what this means pen. If I am asking second time what is this, you are telling it as what ball. If I am asking third time what is this, you are telling it as what duster. Every time you are going to change the meaning of the particular object, the this sorry particular meaning of this. Now clearly I will explain now. Sir, why you are changing the this meaning means because currently this faculty is showing you what pen. Currently he is going to show you pen, and next time currently he is going to show you what ball, and currently he is showing you what duster. That means always this points to or this refers to current object. Which object? Current object. That's it. Point is completed. This refers to current object. Other than this, nothing is there. Okay. Again, I'm repeating. This refers to what? Current object. Right. This is about a small example about this. Now, in detail, I am going to tell you with an example, which is very difficult to understand, but I will make you to understand easily. Okay. Because what is the need of using? See, if I'm going to if I'm going to use a pen, I have to call it as what? I have to call it as a pen. I should not call it as a pencil. Why I have to change the name? I don't want to change the name. Now listen, sir. What you have to do? We have not understood. Understood, sir. I will tell you clearly. Don't worry about that. Okay. Now see, I am going to take an example clearly. So just I will take a class and I'm going to take one constructor. And now see here there are two variables int a comma b, and here I'm going to take what int x comma int b. Observe carefully. Now here I'm going to take what till now a equal to x, b equal to y. Sorry, this is y. Okay. Now see, whenever I'm creating a space some k equal to new a of 10 comma 20, what I told you, this 10 is going into x, this y is going into y. And what happens? This x where there is nothing but 10 is going to be stored in a and 20 is going to be stored in b. Okay, this is the example I have till now I have explained you, but now observe carefully. My concept is generally where I have to store this one. Observe where I have to store this one. Finally, I want to store in A. Where I have to store this one finally, I have to store in B. Then in between, why I have to change the name here? If instead of writing this X, observe carefully, if I write X, there will be no confusion. A means this A, B means this B, X means this X, Y means this Y. There is no confusion if I write different names. But think once, why I have to change the name? Why I have to use X? Why I have to use Y? As I finally I'm storing this 10 in A, I want to name this one also as A. I want to name this where I want to store in B only. I want to name these things also with the same name. It leads to some confusion. Don't worry, I will explain clearly. Now see, I am going to change the name now. Now observe carefully. Now see, int A, int B. Now see, here what I have to write? I have to write A. Before I have written X, now I am going to write what? B. Now the problem is, according to my example, I have written in this way only. Now the problem is, now observe here, I am going to pass 10 here, 20 here. Now tell me if I write A equal to A, which A equal to which A? Either this A equal to this A or this A equal to this A. Confusion. B equal to B. Which B is going to which B? I may not get correct output here. Finally, my goal is what? I want to initialize instance variables. These are called as what? Instance variables. Constructors are used to initialize instance variables. But now here what happens? A local variable is initialized to local variable. A local variable is initialized to local variable. These are hidden. These are hidden. These values are not visible here because before, if I am not going to mention anything here, int A, int B, then these are visible here. In before example, These A and B are visible here. But now what I am doing now? These are instance variables, these are local variables. Now if I take anything inside this constructor, A means this A, B means this B. Okay. Then what happens? If I write A equal to A, which is nothing but this A equal to this A. B equal to B means what? This B equal to this B. But what is my goal? I want to place the values into instance variables. So that I have to use a this keyword. Very, very important. Clearly, I'll explain now. See this. Okay, now see. Now what I'm going to do, observe. Now, every step it will be clear for you. Right. Now see, I don't want to, I want to keep both the local variable names and your instance variables as same. I will not change that. Okay. Now what I have to do, sir? Now what I have to do means, so when I'm writing this one, what happens? Object will be created and it is referred by what? K. And what are the values I am going to get? A comma B. A comma B. Now listen carefully. Please listen carefully. Control goes from where to here? From where to where? Here. And here 10 will be passed and here 20 will be passed. Please listen carefully. On creating which object I came to this constructor. On creating, okay, anyway, this object, but it is referred by K. I am telling it as K. On creating K, listen carefully. On creating K object, I came to here. Now, if I write this here, what is the current object? On creating which object I came here? This. Sorry. On creating which object I came here? K. On creating this object, I came here. So this means what? This means K. So if I write this dot A, that is nothing but what? K dot A equal to, if I write normal A here, which is nothing but this A. Now next, this dot B, this means what here? K. K dot B means this one. Now that means what? If I write B here, that B is nothing but this one. Now what happens? Tell me here. Here what happens is this dot A, that means this A equal to this 10. A equal to 10, B equal to 20. This is the case, sir. Okay, sir. Let us take one more example. A space J equal to new A of 30 comma 40. Listen carefully. Now this concept is completed. First object is created. Now see, on creating this object which is referred by J, I am getting two variables, A and B. Now again control goes to where? Again control goes to here. And now which values are passed here? 30, 40. Now listen carefully, please. On creating which object I came to here? On creating which object I came to this constructor now? On creating J object I came to this constructor. Now this means who? Is it K or J? Currently which object is there? J. Now this becomes what? J. J dot A. That means I am talking about this. So equal to what? This A. There is nothing but 30. Next again I am repeating. Again for this one I'm talking. On creating which object I came to here? On creating which object I came here? K. So this means what? This means, sorry, not K, sorry, J. On creating J object I came to here. So that this becomes what? J. J dot B. That means I'm talking about this. Equal to which B? This B, local B, which is nothing but 40. That's it. Other than this, nothing is there. Okay. So instance variable hiding here. Okay. So to resolve namespace collisions or name collisions, that means here there is a problem between whom? There is a problem between instance variables and local variables. So now what I am going to do? I am going to do what? I am going to resolve those problems by using a keyword called as this. That's it. Nothing is there. Okay. Right. With this, I have completed the concept of this keyword. If you are okay, anyway, just I will take a small example, then it will be clear for you. So now see, I don't want to change the names here. I will write A and I will write B. Now observe here, if I write initially A space A equal to A and B equal to B, for example. Now just I want to print, I will not take this statement. Okay, now see, otherwise just I will comment this. These two lines I will comment. Later I will use this. I will comment this and I will comment this. First I will take only A. Now see what happens. Here I will pass 60 comma 70. Observe now 60 comma 70. Now, what I'm printing, I'm passing this. What you think that, sir? Anyway, you are calling the constructor. It will go to here. Uh, Sorry, I will remove this also. Okay. And you are going to this constructor. What you are going to do? A equal to A, B equal to B. According to you, what you are thinking? So 60 will be A value and 70 will be B value. But observe this one. Observe the output of this. See what happens. Output 0, 0. Sir, what sir? I have initialized 60, 70. No, sir. Yes. You are thinking that you have initialized 60, 70. But what happens? This A is local. This A is also local. This B is local. This B is also local. Local means what? We are talking only about these ABs. But I am not talking about instance variables. This AB I am not going to talk about. I am not going to talk about this AB. Sir, I want those ABs, sir. Then what I have to do? I have to write this dot A. This dot A means what? These instance variables will be sent to an object. This dot A is nothing but these years of the current object. This dot B means object B in the current object. Now see, whatever you are thinking will be correct. Whatever you are, that is nothing but I think 60, 70 or 50, 60 I have passed. So you got what? 60, 70 we got. Okay. Next scenario, sir. Okay, sir. First object, okay. Now show me second object also. Because if it is one object, it may pass. Now see, first time while I am passing, what will be the AB value? 6, 60 and 70. Second time, if I pass 30 and 40, in Y, A value and B value has to be what? 30, 40. Already I told you, I have explained this. So now if you are, if I, while creating X, if I come here, if I am creating, sorry, 1 minute, let us see the names of those X and Y. Okay. While creating X object, if I comes here, while creating X, if I comes here, then what happens? This is nothing but what? X dot A equal to A, X dot A equal to 60. Next, X dot B equal to 70. Next, while creating Y, if I come to that constructor, if I come to here, what happens? This dot A, that is nothing but what? Y dot A equal to 30, Y dot B equal to 40. So that what you have to get as an output. So here 60, sorry, here 60, here 70, here 30, here 40. That means two lines you have to get as 60 space 70 and 30 space 40. See, we got it. So anyway, final statement is this is a keyword which refers to current object. So current object is okay. Anyway, one more better example I will take. Sir, okay, sir. Where this can be used, it can also be used in methods. So void high I'm going to take, please, very important. Void high. Sir, I don't want to initialize A here, sir. I don't want to initialize A here, sir. Okay, just okay. Otherwise, I don't want to initialize B here, sir. Just I will remove this. Just I'm talking only about what A. And I want to initialize in method, sir. So just here also you can write it. This dot A could here you pass A, there is no problem. You can also B, sorry, B, in space B. So here please take it as this dot B equal to B, no problem. Same rule. But what happens? I have to call this. Okay. Now observe first time what I am doing. Okay. So now if I execute this program, did I call anywhere high method? No. Then what happens? Here only I'm having single parameter, that is A I'm going to initialize. So A in X I'm initializing, A in Y I'm initializing. So what happens? Here 60 will be there, and here 30 will be there, and here we are going to get 0, and here we are going to get 0. Let us observe that. Later you will get a clarity on that. See. So all zeros. Why all zeros? Observe this. So here this dot A equal to B I have written. Sorry. This dot A equal to what I have written? A. Okay, now see. 1 minute. You'll get a clear output as 60, 0 and 30, 0. Okay. 60, 0 and 30, 0. Yes. B is not in instance because I have not used any B in this constructor. Sir, what we have to do, sir? Just now X is calling this. Here you can understand clearly what is meant by X. Sorry, what is meant by this. Here I am going to 70 semicolon. Next Y dot high of 40 I am going to write semicolon. Now see Who is calling? Here you will get a clear clarity. Who is calling high method by passing a parameter? X is calling high, so that I'm going to a high with 70. So here, which value I have passed? 70. Who called this high? X called this high. So that who called this high? X. So this becomes who is the current object here? X. So x dot b, this is nothing but x now. X dot b equal to what? Which value I have passed? B. In this b, what I have passed? 70. So that in x, b value will be 70. Remember that. Next, coming to y. Y dot high of 40. Now, who is calling high method here? Y is calling high method. Observe. Y is calling high method by passing which value? 40 here. 40 here. Now tell me, this becomes who? This becomes y. So y dot be equal to this 40. There is nothing but currently which object is there? Who is calling high? Y. So y dot b equal to, this is nothing but y now. Y dot b equal to 40. So if I execute the same program, you will get answer as 60 space 70 and 70, sorry, 30 space 40. You can observe now. So see this 60 space 70 and 30 space 40. Any doubt? Please let me know. Anyone? Please send me a message if you are having any doubts. Otherwise, let us wind up the session. Sir, if we take four parameters by giving only three variables, then there is any exception, sir. Yes. If you are going to give four parameters, but you are having only three parameter constructor, just it will give you what? There is no four parameterized constructor. That's it. If you pass the four parameters and if it is not there, so please let me know your doubt. No, no doubts. Okay, right, right, right. Any more? Okay, thank you, sir. Okay, thank you, Amma. If you are having any doubts, you can. No, sir. Okay, okay, Amma. Just as you are not having any doubts, I'm going